Just wanted to tell you this little quick story where I just was. Okay, so it all started in last November. There was a party next door. I kind of had to go to it. It was my neighbor's party. And actually I was surprised, there was like 50 people. We only have 100, like a little over 100 houses in our development, like 50 people were there. So half of our housing development was there. It was a costume party and you had to dress up like something. So I dressed up like a priest. There were only a few of them that had size extra large. And at that time, I needed an extra large. So that's why I got the priest outfit, because it was extra large, right? So I went to this party and, everybody's there and I'm talking to somebody. I'm standing kind of like in a doorway like this, with the door behind me. This is inside the house, So it's the door where you go outside onto the deck. So I'm standing there and I'm kind of leaned up against the door. So everybody, would have to pass in front of me. And I only planned to stand there for like, 10 seconds. I was on my way out. And so I was standing there and this lady, she was dressed like a witch. I mean, she had a big, tall black hat and she had this long gray hair that came out, and she was older, probably in her 60s. And she looked just like a witch. I mean, when I saw her, I kind of like connected witch with her. Not necessarily a good thing. She was standing right in front of me, and I was just expecting her to, kind of keep going, But she stood right in front of me and she tapped me right on the chest. She says, "You need to fix your doorbell and answer your door." I have a dog, and so whenever, let's say UPS delivers a package, they just ring the doorbell as a courtesy. Well, it sends my dog through the roof and he barks and it scares me. So I turn my doorbell off. I don't have doorbell doesn't ring. Nobody comes to my door uninvited. If you don't text me, you ain't getting in. Okay. So I wasn't I never know to expect people, because everybody always texts me first, And I was like, "Oh, you tried to come see me?" And she was like, "Yeah." She said, "I wanted to invite you to this dinner that we have every year for the church." And I said, "Oh, okay." She said, and my other neighbors, Mike and Shannon, she said, "They told me that I should go over and invite you." I said, "Okay." This was this past November, right? So I said, "Okay, well, I guess I didn't catch you that time. What am I supposed to say, So that was last November. So now we're in March. So I'm in here like 2 days ago. I'm like doing something in my house. I hear this knock on my door. Turk, 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 turk. And I was like, "Who's that?" I don't have anybody coming over. So I went, looked in the camera, and it was them. It was she and her husband. So I said, "Oh God," I said, "I got to answer this door." So anyway, I went to the door. I was, "Oh, we finally caught you." That was the first thing I said, "Finally caught you." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, what can I do for you?" And she said, "We just wanted to give you this." And they gave me a card, and they said, "We want to invite you to that dinner we're having at our church." I said, "Oh, okay." They said, and you can even ride with, Mike and Shannon next door, like I need somebody to ride with. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." And they said it was Saturday and it's $12. And I said, "Okay." So, Saturday has come around, and they gave me the little card, and on the card was 2 causes that they were supporting, that the money went to. And one of the causes I do support, and this was a cause to help people who are stuck in drug addiction. It was sort of a drug addiction house, So yes, I agree with that. I do support that. And then, but the other cause, which I'm not going to tell you, I did not support. I definitely did not support this cause. So I had kind of reservations, like if I hadn't been peer pressured into it, I wouldn't have gone to this dinner. But I was kind of like, we all know each other around here. We're all friends, and crap. Hold on. Oh, okay. I thought there was somebody coming to my door, but it's just somebody walking their dog. So that's okay. It's a kid. Okay. Okay, come on. Yeah, it's just a kid letting his dog walk around. I lost my train of thought. I totally lost my train of thought. It's kind of a peer pressure-ish thing, and when you live in a community where everybody knows each other and everybody's friends, you kind of have to kind of go along with some things. So anyway, that's where I just got back from. I have this thing, this is from this moment to the rest of my life. I don't eat any sugar and I don't eat any deep fried foods like fried chicken or French fries or anything. So those are my only two things I don't eat, but the rest, I can eat. So I got some, so they had basically 3 tables. On the one table on the left, it was just all desserts, of course full of sugar, so I couldn't have any of those. And then there's 2 tables on the right, and they were, they had the same thing. It was like the same thing in the same order on both tables. I mean, if you just glanced at it, you thought, oh my God, look at all this food, but it was actually the same thing duplicated. Most people call them country foods. They had, of course, they had fried chicken. That was the absolute first thing on there. And then they had, boiled potatoes, and they had, so what I got was some boiled potatoes. I got some collards, because basically I just want to see how their collards came out. Collards have a kind of a bitter taste, and you have to know how to cook collards. If you don't cook them right, they're not good. So I just want to see if somebody else knew how to cook collards. The answer to that is no. And then I got some butter beans, which are okay, and I got some corn, which is actually the best thing of all the things I got. They probably got it out of the can. And then I got some barbecue, because I was thinking that the barbecue was going to be kind of like the barbecue, like when you go down to these barbecue places. I thought it was going to taste like that. It did not. And then I got to the end of the table and I had to come up with something else. I put some candy yams on there. Told you I can't really have the sugar. So, they were kind of okay. But anyway, that barbecue tasted like somebody took a bottle of smoke flavor and just dumped it in there. I took one little bite of that barbecue and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Have you ever done that? And I was like, I finally got it down, then I drank something and I did not like the barbecue. But the rest of it was kind of okay, and there was nothing outstanding. I could tell that it was cooked by a bunch of old people because it was heavy in fats and heavy in salt. Like, for example, the collards were so full of, fat that it was almost greasy on your tongue. Like when you were chewing them, it was almost greasy, like they had been just saturated in a pile of, lard or something, which is okay. I mean, in the South, you do cook a lot of fat. And so I could tell, and you look at all the people, there was just old people everywhere. So basically it just kind of went along with the people who were going to be coming to it. We had that, food was okay. I just kind of nibbled. I wasn't really hungry, so got that over with. And I'm so glad I got that over with. It only stayed like an hour. And I got ready to pull out, and their parking spots are so narrow, you wouldn't believe it. I had to, how you back out and correct yourself? I had to do that 2 or 3 times to get into this parking spot. Now, I hate doing that. Normally, I will go to way further down, and I park where there's 2 or 3 spaces. I don't ever park, but they were directing traffic, so we had to park at a specific place. So anyway, I got in my parking spot. So when I got ready to leave, the guy who had parked beside of me in his truck had backed in. Well, the way he had backed in, it was so close to my truck that his right mirror that sticks out and my right mirror were facing each other. And they were like that close. So had I just put it in reverse and backed up, I would have broken off our mirrors. So I had to get out, go over there, push his mirror in, then I had to push my mirror in, and then I was able to finally get out. It's just a challenge for those of you who don't drive a truck with a trailer hitch on it, which is what I drive. It's a challenge because your truck is longer than, first of all, trucks are longer than cars to begin with, but then you add trailer hitch on the back, and mine sticks out a good bit. So you got a long, it's a little bit more of a challenge to drive my truck. But I got out. There was no wrecks or anything. So anyway, I got back and I got some Amazon packages, and I know that you all like to see what I'm gonna get. It's almost like Christmas or whatever. So I'm gonna open up one or two things, and let you see what I got. So we'll open this one. Notice it has heavy on it. It is very heavy. I already know what's in here. So I'm sure the person that delivered that package didn't appreciate having to pick up this package, but I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's your job. So, what we have here is we have Del Monte pineapple. This is, I'm telling you this, not because I get anything for telling you this, but I'm just telling you this for your own information. But this Del Monte Deluxe Gold that pineapple is so good. It really, it's like they must have their own species of pineapple, because it is remarkably better than like the store brand. Because I used to buy store brand, and store brand was like, had hardly any flavor in it, you know? But this is like, they wait till it's really ripe and it's soft and it's sweet. So I got 2 12 packs of this. I eat sometimes I'll eat a whole 12 pack in the course of a week. Pineapple is one of those things that, you know, is obviously sweet. That's my indulgence to have. So I'll have, like, let's say okay, somebody else was coming up in my driveway with their dog. Okay. Yeah, but pineapple is kind of an indulgence for me because I have like let's say for lunch, I'll make myself an egg and have an egg sandwich, and then I'll have a can of pineapple because that's my indulgence. So, you know, I eat pineapple a lot. Oh, let me show you this one thing. I've already said this online, so I'll just repeat it. You know, this is no mystery, but we know what pineapple is really good with. You're not gonna like this, baby. You're not gonna like it. It's pineapple. It's cottage cheese. Okay. All right. Pineapple is really good with cottage cheese. You can get the low fat or the regular, and I buy name brand for this one, for cottage cheese. And then you take some shredded cheese. I like Colby Jack, and then you put it over the top of it, and you mix it all together with pineapples, and it's so good. You should really try it. I found out about it many years ago. This was probably, well, I think I was probably 17 or 18. So at that time I was heavy, and I had signed up to go to this, I think it was called Physicians Weight Loss, and you had to go in and they weighed you and they gave you this menu to follow, and you had to keep going in every so many days or whatever and weigh, and it was expensive. And anyway, that's how I found out about this. That was one of the things on their menu, because I had never eaten cottage cheese before, and this was like an interesting combination, so I was kind of forced to try it because I was really hungry. So that's when I first tried that combination, and I've eaten it ever since. Really good. One little interesting fact about that, and this was so many years ago, there was a guy, he was kind of like the manager at this Physicians Weight Loss, and I found out, because I eventually quit going there, it just got to be expensive, and I found out that he got into a car accident and became paraplegic. Isn't that crazy? Oh, one more thing. And one time I was on my way to go in there for one of these, you have to weigh and stuff, and I had a car accident myself. I was going down the road, and a truck had pulled, over into the it was like 2 lanes and then a little separator and then 2 more lanes, right? And so a truck had pulled over into the separator and was waiting so they could go back the other way. And I was going too fast. And so the tailgate of that truck came in through my windshield. That was the accident I had. It did not decapitate me because, I had there's a metal bar on the left side of your car. But that was probably one of the first car accidents I ever had. My mom was so glad that it didn't decapitate me. Of course, it couldn't have decapitated me. I didn't tell her that, but anyway, I just remember when that tailgate hit my windshield, it was like an explosion, and it was like somebody was throwing sand on my face. That's what I remember about it. It didn't really hurt. And then I remember after that, I was surprised at myself because I was really afraid of driving anywhere. Like I would drive real slow and I would stay really far, keep people way in front of me and stuff like that. And I couldn't believe I responded that way. It's like for several weeks, probably a month or so, I was driving really slow and staying away from other cars. I just remember that. I was probably only like 19 or something like that. But that's my little story. You will have to let me know in the comments if you like these stories, because if you don't say you do, I'm going to stop telling them, because a lot of people do like to hear stories and stuff. But if you don't comment, I don't know. In fact, if you don't click the like button, I don't even know you've even watched it. Okay? So do me a favor, click on the subscribe button. I need more subscribers if you want to hear from me anymore, please. Okay, so something else I got from Amazon is a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and camel crown. I've never heard of camel crown, but anyway, it's a shirt that is real kind of stretchy, and they called this a fishing shirt. I don't know why they call it a fishing shirt, but anyway, it's called a fishing shirt, but I'll just wear it wherever. Nobody knows it's a fishing shirt, but you know, it's real stretchy. Something else I got is a bike storage rack. It's a metal rack that, you know, it stands on the floor, but it usually put it up against the wall. And the reason I got this is because when I travel in my camper, I always bring my bike, and I don't really have anywhere to put the bike. I can't put it back in my truck because it'll get wet or stolen. And if I put it inside, you know, during transit, it's bumping all around and it scratches everything up, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this against one of the walls. I'm going to bolt it to the wall, and then I'm going to put my bike in it so it just stays there and doesn't fall out and scare the dog, because the dog's going to be riding in the trailer whenever I pull it. That's a whole nother story why that's the case, but it's the most effective way for me to manage him. It's just let him ride in the back. He's going to be quite comfortable in the back. He's going to have some padding, have nice bedding back there, and I'm going to have a camera to watch him at all times. But yeah, he's not going to be riding with me in the front any longer. Long story, I won't get into it. And I got myself some zip ties. Okay, I got, these are, I think these are 6-inch zip ties. Hey baby, this is not for, he hears the crackling and he thinks it's food. So I got some 6-inch and 12-inch zip ties. So these I use for just about everything.